Finding true spiritual peace requires us to align ourselves with a higher purpose. It demands a deliberate, daily physical reorientation away from worldly distractions. While namaz, or daily prayer, is a core obligation for Muslims to achieve this focus, many struggle with the precise physical postures and the specific Arabic recitations required. By following this exact guide, you will master a complete, structurally perfect 2 rak'ah prayer from start to finish. To understand how the prayer works, we first need to define a rakat. Think of a rakat as a single, repeating unit of prayer made up of a specific sequence of physical postures. This diagram shows the cycle of one single rakat. You can see it contains exactly 1 standing posture, 1 bowing posture, and 2 prostrating postures on the ground. Understanding this repeating cycle is the key to the entire prayer system. It turns a series of complex movements into a set of predictable building blocks that you can apply to any of the 5 daily prayers. Before we begin the actual movements, 2 mandatory conditions must be met. You must be physically clean through the washing ritual known as Wudu, and you must physically face the Qibla, the direction of the Kaaba in Mecca. With those conditions met, you make your Niyyat, or intention. This must be a clear, specific decision made in your heart about exactly which prayer you are about to perform. You can use this simple verbal template for your intention. You state the number of rakats, the specific time of day, and whether the type is Sunnat or Farz. Now initiate the prayer by raising your hands, saying Allahu Akbar, and then folding your hands firmly. Keeping your eyes focused downward, recite the opening prayer called the Sana, which begins with Subhanaka Allahumma. Immediately following the Sana, you recite Surah Fatiha from the Quran and then connect it with any other brief surah of your choice. This early period of complete physical stillness and opening recitation serves as your direct, uninterrupted conversation with God. Step 1 of the movement phase. Say Allahu Akbar and transition downward into Ruku, which is the bowing position. Rest your hands firmly on your knees and keep your back straight. While bowing, repeat the specific tasbih for this posture, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. You repeat this phrase in odd numbers, typically 3, 5, or 7 times. Next, rise back to a straight standing position. As you lift up, recite Sami Allahu Liman Hamida, followed by Rabbana Lakal Hamd. Say Allahu Akbar once again and descend directly into your first Sajdah, or prostration, placing your forehead and nose flat on the ground. Down here, the recitation changes. You recite Subhana Rabbiyal Ala. Beginners often mix this up, so be careful to use Allah for prostration rather than the Azim used earlier during the bow. Sit up briefly while saying Allahu Akbar, then immediately dive into your second Sajdah. Repeat the exact same tasbih of Subhana Rabbiyal Ala 3, 5, or 7 times. By touching the ground twice, you have now successfully completed the first full structural unit, or rakat, of your prayer. To begin the second rakat, stand all the way back up to your feet while saying Allahu Akbar. This second cycle will almost entirely mirror the physical and verbal sequence you just finished. This side-by-side comparison shows the single mandatory difference. You must select a completely different surah than the one used in the first rakat. Aside from that, you follow the exact same path. You bow, stand, complete the first prostration, sit, and complete the second prostration. This strict physical repetition is designed to build deep muscle memory. Once your body knows the steps automatically, your mind is free to focus entirely on your spiritual intent rather than the physical mechanics. Following that second prostration of the second rakat, do not stand up. Instead, remain seated. This posture is called the qada. While maintaining this seated posture, you first recite the Attahiyat prayer. Seamlessly follow that by reciting the Durud-e-Ibrahim. Finish the seated sequence with one final recitation, the Dua-e-Masura. Now we reach the physical exit. Turn your head to look over your right shoulder and declare, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Then turn your head to look over your left shoulder and repeat the exact same phrase. This final physical act of looking outward and extending a greeting of peace officially transitions you out of the prayer state and back into the physical world. Congratulations, you have just completed a standard, structurally perfect 2-rakat prayer. Look at this branching timeline to see how to scale up. For a 3 or 4 rakat prayer, instead of finishing after the attahiyat in the second rakat, simply stand back up, complete the remaining rakats, and execute the final sitting and greeting. Save this guide and use it as a daily checklist. Practice the sequence until the muscle memory and the recitations become second nature to you. By sharing this video with family and friends, you help the community learn this essential practice, earning continuous spiritual reward for yourself in the process. Mastering these foundational steps provides the physical structure for a lifelong practice, ensuring your daily prayers are performed with technical accuracy and consistency.